Resurrect the grind. Don't just celebrate Easter with eggs, outfits, and photos. Celebrate Easter by bringing back to life that version of you that used to go hard, the one that used to stay up late grinding, the one who didn't wait for opportunities but chased them down relentlessly. When we talk about resurrection, we're not just talking about a historical event. We're talking about a mindset, a decision, a moment in time where you choose to stop playing small. Too many of us are celebrating something we're not living. You can't just shout, "He is risen." If you're still laying down on your goals, your dreams, your purpose, it's time to bring back the discipline, the drive, the hunger that used to wake you up in the morning with fire in your chest. The grind is not dead. It's just sleeping in some of y'all, and Easter is your alarm clock. You gotta look yourself in the mirror and ask, when did I lose it? When did I let the fire dim? Because somewhere along the way, life hit, setbacks came, people disappointed you, and you went into survival mode, and I get it. But today's not about staying down, it's about getting up. This is your moment to say, no more of the old me. The one that procrastinates, the one that makes excuses, the one that says, I'll start tomorrow. That version of you, we're not bringing that one back. We're resurrecting the version of you that had tunnel vision, that didn't care how long it took, that didn't flinch when things got hard. You remember that season of your life where no one had to push you, no one had to call you, no one had to motivate you because you were locked in. That's the version we need today. You didn't wait for applause, you didn't need validation, you were driven by purpose. That's what resurrection looks like in real life. It looks like picking your grind up off the floor, dusting it off and going again. It looks like telling yourself, I will not let another week go by living beneath the level I was called to. You weren't created to be average. You weren't built for halfway. There's royalty in your DNA, there's fire in your bones, and there's destiny on your calendar, if you're willing to work for it. Don't just get hyped on Sunday and go back to being lazy on Monday. That's not resurrection, that's religion. What you need is transformation. What you need is to commit to a daily grind that's fueled by something deeper than motivation. It's fueled by mission. It's fueled by your why. Because when your why is strong, the how doesn't scare you. When you're clear on your purpose, you don't need to feel good to move. You move no matter how you feel. You don't sit back waiting for momentum, you create it. You show up, you go all in. You act like every day counts because it does. This ain't about perfection. It's about resurrection. It's about saying the old me is gone, the one who let fear win, the one who let comfort control me, the one who kept playing it safe. I buried that version. I'm walking out of the tomb of average with power, with clarity, with purpose. When you resurrect the grind, you stop making excuses and start making changes. You stop waiting for blessings and start building systems. You stop wishing and start working. The resurrection is not about starting over, it's about rising higher. It's about deciding that you've spent enough time in the grave of wasted potential, and now it's time to live again. Your school days weren't about grades, they were training grounds for greatness. It was never just about the math test or the history paper. It was about teaching you how to show up, how to be disciplined, how to deal with pressure. Back then, you didn't even realize life was already testing you. Every tardy slip, every group project, every time you failed and had to bounce back, that was preparation. See, school wasn't just about the answers, it was about the mindset. It was about showing up even when you didn't feel like it. About learning to push through the boring and the uncomfortable. About building consistency when the reward wasn't immediate. That bell didn't just ring for class, it rang to teach you how to structure your day, how to move with urgency, how to respect time and opportunity. But some of us got so caught up in chasing grades or popularity that we missed the bigger lesson. You thought that GPA was everything, but life doesn't hand out report cards. It hands out real consequences, and those who win aren't the ones who memorize facts. They're the ones who mastered habits. They're the ones who kept going when it got hard. They're the ones who didn't just graduate, they grew. Every morning you showed up to that building, whether you liked it or not. You were building something in your character. You were learning how to endure, and now, as an adult, you've got to go back and remember what school was trying to teach you beneath the surface. You remember how you had to study even when you didn't feel like it. That's the same muscle you need now to build your business, to work on your dream, to chase your purpose. You remember how you had to deal with classmates you didn't like, teachers who didn't believe in you, rules that didn't make sense. That's the same world you live in now, and school was your practice field. You were learning how to deal with conflict, how to stay focused in chaos, how to lead yourself when no one was watching. It wasn't just education. It was elevation in disguise. That building taught you how to think, how to solve, how to push through failure, how to prepare when pressure showed up. It taught you how to carry weight before life handed you real burdens. Some of y'all need to stop looking back at school like it was irrelevant. Nah, it was your first battleground, and if you slept through it, it's time to wake up. If you coasted through it, it's time to stop coasting now. School wasn't about perfection. It was about progression. And everything you needed to win in life, it was already being taught. You just have to apply it. Life is the same game, just a different classroom. You still got lessons. You still got deadlines. You still got tests. The only difference now is nobody's reminding you. Nobody's forcing you to study. No one's chasing you down to turn in your assignment. Now it's on you. Now it's your responsibility. So what are you going to do with what school tried to teach you? Are you going to stay stuck wishing you had done more? Or are you going to realize the class is still in session? The bell might not be ringing, but your purpose is. The hallway might be empty, but the path is still open. You've got everything you need, but now you've got to stop treating life like recess and start approaching it like it's finals week every week. Your school days were just the warm-up. Now it's game time. And the best students in life, they never stop learning, never stop grinding, never stop growing. TGIM means you don't wait for the weekend to be great. You show up on Monday hungry. Everybody loves Friday. Everybody talks big on Saturday. Everybody's relaxed on Sunday. But when Monday hits, when the alarm clock goes off, that's when the real ones rise. That's when the grinders, the hustlers, the leaders lace up and get after it. Because greatness doesn't take weekends off. Champions don't wait for perfect conditions. They create their own momentum. They don't wait to feel good. They decide to be great regardless of how they feel. TGIM is not just a slogan, it's a lifestyle. It's a declaration that you're not living for the end of the week. You're owning the beginning of it. While the world complains about Monday, you're embracing it like a gift. You're saying, let's go, let's build, let's create, let's execute. When you're truly hungry, Monday isn't a problem. It's a privilege. It's another shot to make progress, another chance to take a step toward the dream. You can't win the week if you lose Monday. You can't dominate the year if you keep snoozing through the first moments of each week. You've got to train your mindset to crave the grind, not run from it. Mondays separate the average from the elite. It's easy to post quotes. It's easy to wear a hoodie with grind mode on it. But what are you doing when it's cold, when it's dark, when the motivation ain't there and it's just you and your goals? That's where hunger lives. That's where winners are made. There's power in being consistent when others are casual. You've got to treat Monday like it's the first day of the championship. Show up with the energy of a starter, not the attitude of a substitute. Don't just clock in, buy in. Don't just show up physically. Bring your whole heart. That hunger has to be real, not just talk, not just hype, but real action. The kind of hunger that pushes you to stay focused when distractions come. The kind of hunger that keeps you accountable when nobody's watching. The kind of hunger that sees Monday not as a mountain, but as a mission. Most people waste Monday trying to wake up. You've got to wake up already fired up. Wake up with a plan. Wake up with purpose. Wake up understanding that every great week starts with a great Monday. You've got to bring that energy that says, I'm not here to survive this week, I'm here to dominate it. TGIM is not just about being positive, it's about being powerful. It's about owning your decisions, managing your time, maximizing your opportunities. You've got 24 hours today, same as everybody else. The only difference is what you do with them, and the hungry don't waste time, they invest it. They put in the work now so they can reap the reward later. So while others are dreading the start of the week, you're already in motion. You're already executing. You're already running your play. That's the mentality you need if you're serious about next-level results. If you want to win the year, it starts with winning the day. And if you want to win the day, it starts with owning your Monday, not by accident, not by luck, by showing up hungry, focused, and locked in. TGIM is a reminder that every Monday is an opportunity in disguise, and the people who live for purpose don't wait for inspiration. They wake up and work like the outcome depends on them, because it does. The bell still rings. Life is testing you daily. Are you prepared or just praying? Too many people are out here hoping for success, but not preparing for the test. You say you want the dream, you say you want the blessing, but every single day life is handing you a quiz, and you're showing up without a pencil, without a plan, without preparation. In school, you used to panic when you forgot to study, when you didn't review the material, when you walked into class and saw a surprise test. But now in real life, the tests come even faster, and the consequences hit even harder. And guess what? The teacher doesn't announce it anymore. Life don't give you a study guide. Life don't give you a second chance to take the exam. Either you pass or you don't. Either you grow or you stay the same. And that's why TGIM matters, because Monday is a test, discipline is a test, consistency is a test. Faith without work is a test you'll fail every time. You want the promotion, but are you studying leadership? You want the business to blow up, but are you preparing your systems? You want to be respected, but are you training your character? Every single day, life throws a pop quiz at you, and it don't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about how tired you are or what happened last week. Life is asking, are you ready? Are you equipped? Are you committed? You've got to live like the test is coming every single day, because it is. You've got to treat every moment like preparation, every challenge like practice, every delay like a sharpening tool. You can't fake greatness. You can't wing success. You either did the work or you didn't. And some of y'all praying for a breakthrough that your preparation can't handle. It's not enough to believe. Belief has to turn into behavior. You've got to train for the moment before the moment comes. You've got to work like the spotlight is already shining. You've got to push yourself like the opportunity is already at the door. Because when it knocks, it's too late to prepare. You've got to be ready to perform. Some people are praying for rain, but haven't built the buckets to catch it. Some people are asking for overflow, but don't have the discipline to manage it. Life is watching how you show up in private. Life is grading you on your early mornings, your late nights, your silent sacrifices. You don't win the game on game day. You win it during practice. You win it during the unseen reps. You win it when you stay faithful to your routine, even when no one claps for you. The bell is still ringing, not the one from your school days, but the bell of purpose, the bell of discipline, the bell of accountability. Can you hear it? It's ringing every time you hit snooze. It's ringing every time you put off the goal. It's ringing every time you shrink back from responsibility, and it's also ringing every time you rise, every time you push, every time you choose growth over comfort. The test is not to break you, it's to build you. Life isn't trying to destroy you, it's trying to develop you. But only if you're willing to stop praying for easy and start preparing for excellence. Don't wait for the pressure to come before you sharpen your tools. Don't wait for the moment of truth before you study the truth. Show up every day like you know you're being tested, and like you refuse to fail. Easter is proof that comebacks are real. It's time to rise from the old you. You don't have to stay stuck in your past, in your pain, in your patterns. The beauty of Easter isn't just in what happened thousands of years ago. It's in what can happen inside of you right now. It's in the shift. It's in the choice. It's in the moment you decide that who you've been is not the limit to who you can become. You don't have to keep living in that cycle of almost, that rhythm of regret, that loop of maybe next time. Easter is the signal that you can break out. You can start again, you can rewrite the narrative, you can breathe again, you can run again, you can dream again, and not just because it's a holiday, but because it's your resurrection day. See, the old you might have quit. The old you might have feared failure. The old you might have waited for permission. But the comeback version of you walks different, thinks different, moves different. This version of you doesn't need applause to get started or a crowd to get moving. This version of you understands that setbacks are setups, that wounds can become wisdom, that scars can become stories. This version of you is not afraid to get back up, even if you've been knocked down again and again. Comebacks don't belong to the lucky. They belong to the disciplined. They belong to the fighters. They belong to those who believe there's something greater ahead than what's behind. You've got to stop listening to the voice that says, you failed too many times. You've got to shut down the voice that whispers, it's too late. That voice doesn't know you're calling. That voice didn't see what you survived. That voice doesn't get a vote. Easter is about power, about rising when the odds are against you, about walking out of what should have buried you, and every single person has a resurrection inside of them, if they're willing to stop pretending they're still dead. Stop pretending you're not worthy. Stop pretending you don't have what it takes. The tomb is open, the chains are broken, but you've got to walk out. You've got to rise up. You might be tired. You might be overlooked. You might have lost a lot. But you are not done. You are not defeated. The fact that you woke up today means there's still breath in your lungs and purpose in your bones. There's still more inside you that hasn't come out yet. There are still rooms waiting for your gift. There are still people who need what you carry. You don't need a crowd, you need commitment. You don't need a perfect plan, you need the courage to rise. Comebacks don't require approval. They require decision. They require action. They require a mindset that says, I'm not going to let what happened to me stop what's supposed to happen through me. There's no growth without pressure, no strength without resistance, no comeback without a breakdown, but you've already been through the breaking. Now it's time to get to the building. You've already seen what it feels like to be stuck. Now it's time to see what it feels like to soar. You've already heard the lies. Now it's time to speak truth over your life. You've already walked through the valley. Now it's time to climb the mountain. The same power that raised dreams, raised confidence, raised belief, it's available right now. Not someday, not when you feel like it. Right now, the old you had its chance. Now it's the comeback's turn. Now it's time to rise. Stop being a dropout in the school of life. Show up, study, and win every day. Life doesn't hand out diplomas for just showing up. It rewards those who commit, who engage, who grind when nobody's clapping. Too many people quit on themselves not because they weren't smart or talented, but because they treated life like a class they didn't feel like attending. They gave up on the assignment, skipped the hard lessons, ignored the feedback. But real growth doesn't come from avoiding the difficult chapters. It comes from staying enrolled even when it's tough. Life will test you with pressure, with pain, with loss, with disappointment. And you can't just drop out every time it gets uncomfortable. You've got to decide that you're going to finish what you started, that you're going to master your mindset, that you're going to keep showing up no matter how hard it gets. There's no such thing as coasting to greatness. You can't audit your way to success. This isn't a trial class where you get to taste the dream without doing the work. You have to study your failures. You have to analyze your choices. You have to take notes on your habits. Every single day is a lesson. Every experience is a lecture. Every obstacle is a quiz. Are you learning or are you just floating? Are you passing the same test over and over because you keep skipping the material? Life is going to keep giving you the same lessons until you learn them. You can't run from the curriculum. You've got to embrace it. The school of life requires daily attendance. That means you show up for your health, for your purpose, for your calling. You don't check out when it gets frustrating. You don't mentally skip class when things don't go your way. You dig in, you refocus, you take responsibility, You become a student of growth, not just a fan of motivation. Some of you love the hype but hate the homework. You repost the quotes, but you avoid the quiet time it takes to really reflect. You shout about goals, but you hide from the grind. That's dropout energy, and it's holding you back from everything you say you want. Winners don't just show up when it's easy. They show up every single day, committed to learning, growing, evolving. They understand that failure isn't the end, it's a pop quiz on the way to mastery. They take their LS and turn them into lessons. They stay in the class, they stay in the fight, and most of all, they stay humble enough to keep learning, because life never stops teaching. The moment you think you know it all, life will humble you. The moment you stop showing up with hunger, you start falling behind. Don't waste another week skipping the internal work. You wouldn't miss a paycheck, so why miss your purpose? You wouldn't skip a test if it meant your graduation, so why skip the lessons that are building your legacy? Life isn't punishing you, it's preparing you, but you've got to take the training seriously. You've got to treat your vision like a major, your discipline like a course, your growth like a graduation requirement. You've got to stop dropping out every time you feel like you're not good enough, and start staying in it until you get better. There's greatness in you. But greatness only grows through pressure, repetition, and commitment. You've got to be a full-time student of excellence. That means you study your reactions, you evaluate your consistency, you submit your excuses for correction. You keep showing up with your backpack full of dreams and your heart full of grit. No matter how many times you fail, you stay enrolled. You stay in the game. You keep raising your hand. You keep asking questions. And you keep striving to pass every single test life throws at you.